Once again, it's another episode of the Peak Signing Agents podcast where I'm helping you become the best notary and signing agent you can possibly be. I'm your host, DVO, Derek Van Otten, and today we are talking about 1031 exchanges. Now, real quick disclaimer, I'm talking about 1031 exchanges on the perspective of a loan signing agent signing and notarizing mortgage documents. I'm not going into details about what a 1031 is exactly, the benefits, the tax benefits, the investment side of things. I'm not talking about that. So if that's what you found this YouTube video or podcast on, you might want to go somewhere else. This is purely from the perspective of a notary loan signing agent and the paperwork that we go through and how to understand it properly. Okay, I just want to just quickly disclaim that beforehand. Let's talk about it. The reason why I'm bringing this episode up is I recently had a seller packet where I hired a notary and there was a property replacement form. And she said, "What is this? Who is this for? Do they even fill this out?" And I said, "Yes, this is a 1031. Are you not familiar with what a 1031 is?" And so I thought maybe she isn't. Maybe a lot of you aren't. Let's talk about it a little bit. Again, this is from the perspective of us as notary loan signing agents, not from the perspective of being an investor, going into real estate, anything like that. We're not getting into all that. I'm staying in my lane as a notary loan signing agent talking about it. Real quick, what is a 1031 exchange? A 1031 exchange is for investors who are selling properties and they're going to reinvest their funds from the sale into a similar property, a like kind. All right. So for example, if a seller, an investor, is selling a home, they're going to roll those funds into purchasing a new home. If they were buying an apartment complex, or they're selling an apartment complex, and they were selling that and rolling the funds through a 1031 to purchasing another apartment complex. Okay, like kind properties. Does that make sense? That's what it's for. And there's benefits for it. They're deferring taxes. They're not avoiding taxes, or they're not skipping taxes. They are just deferring to make their taxes, paying taxes until a future time. All right, that's the benefit of why they would be doing this. Just some quick background. And usually there's a time frame, maybe roughly around 45 days. From the time they sell their property, they have 45 days to acquire a new property. And it's a 1031, they're rolling the funds directly over. So the sale of the property is going right into the purchase of another property. They don't touch it. It doesn't go to their bank account. It's through a 1031 exchange. It's called an exchange. And that's what it's for. And when they have a property, then they're going to fill out the property replacement form. So you might not see this often in a seller packet, but if they're doing a 1031 exchange, that's what it's for. And they're going to put in the new property. So they're going to write in the property. And again, they're the exchanger, by the way. The person that's selling, they are the exchanger. They're going to put in the property that they are selling. And then they're going to write in the property that they are acquiring. They're going to write in the address on that form. So that is a property replacement form. And it's through because they're doing a 1031 exchange. They have a certain amount of time. It's usually around 45 days to do that exchange. Otherwise, they'll have to pay the capital gains taxes if they don't. I believe if they have to pay the capital gains taxes if they don't do it in time. Again, I'm not a tax professional. If you have tax questions on this, you want to do something like this because you want to become a real estate investor, talk to a tax professional. I am not a tax professional. I am a coach and mentor for notaries and signing agents. And so this is a form that we may run across. This is a form that we ran across this week. So I just wanted to share the information with you so you know how to fill that form out, what to do with that form, what a 1031 exchange is, because there is another form that we see quite often in a seller packet. And I did an episode on this, but it's the certification for no information reporting. And this is when they're answering those true or false questions for the sale, right? Because the IRS are asking these questions to say, hey, are there capital gains taxes we need to charge this seller? And there's a list of questions. Again, I did an episode on this, but it's asking, did they own and use a property as their principal residence? Have they sold another principal residence? Did they make more or less than $500,000 if they're a married couple, $250,000 if they're an individual? But there are questions, and I'll read those. So the question is, during the 5-year period ending on the date of the sale or exchange of the residence, I did not, this is one of those double negatives, I did not acquire the residence in an exchange to which Section 1031 of the Internal Revenue Code applied. So 1031 is the code in the IRS. And so this is double negative. So it's basically asking, I did not acquire the residence through a 1031. Is that true statement? They'd mark true. If it was false, they'd mark false, because that means they did acquire the residence through a 1031. So that's what that question is saying. And then the next question is usually a continuation where it says, if my basis in the residence is determined by reference to the basis in the hands of a person who acquired the residence in an exchange to which Section 1031 of the Internal Revenue Code applied, the exchange to which Section 1031 applied occurred more than 5 years prior to the date it was sold. Again, it's going to be true, false, or not applicable. So if they did not even acquire this through a 1031, it's not applicable. But if they did, the basis is what they bought it for. That's what the basis is. So you have to ask them that question. You'll have to read that question a little bit more thoroughly. But the question basically is saying if my basis, and the basis is the price they purchased it for. And that's what those questions are asking. Again, that's the certification for no information reporting. These are the true or false questions where they have to answer the questions true or false when they did the sale, because the IRS receives this and they're saying, do we need to charge capital gains tax? And it could be anywhere from 15% or so for capital gains taxes on a property being sold. And so a lot of investors will do a 1031 to avoid paying the taxes right now. They're going to avoid capital gains taxes because they're saying, hey, I'm selling a property. Don't tax me on this yet because I'm going to roll this right into another investment property. And again, this is for investors. These are not for people that are living in the home or they're buying a home to live in. These are for investors, by the way. So something to keep in mind, especially with these questions, for the seller packet on these true or false questions, just keep that in mind. This is for investors. Investors will be doing 1031 exchanges. So if someone's like, I don't even know what 1031 is, they would know. It's an action plan. It is a tax strategy. They would know if they did a 1031 exchange. They will always know. There's more paperwork involved. And it's a tax strategy. They would know if they were doing it. They are investors. They are purposefully doing a 1031. So I just want to give that information. Again, a 1031 exchange is an investor deferring taxes to pay at a later time by selling a property but rolling those funds directly into a property. They have a certain amount of days, usually around 45 days, to acquire that new property. And if they are doing a 1031 exchange, there is going to be, usually in the seller packet, a property replacement form. Replacement property form. I'm not sure exactly the verbiage, but basically they're going to say, hey, I'm the exchanger. This is the property I'm selling. And now this is the property that I am going to be purchasing, acquiring through this exchange. Okay, I hope that makes sense. Just wanted to run that by with everyone because this came up just this week. And I thought, I don't see this very often, but I knew a 1031 exchange. I'm surprised the notary maybe didn't, but maybe they have an idea. They just have never seen that form before. So that's why I want to talk about it. That is a form you might see, the property exchange form replacement. And that question that gets brought up in the true or false questions. And also one of the questions is, it does say, I owned and used a principal residence, my principal residence, or let's see, I have not sold or exchanged another principal residence. Again, this is talking about that exchange. So, and again, this is mostly going to be through investors doing this as well. So if they, if they live in the house, they're buying a new house that they're going to be living in, they probably aren't going to be doing a 1031 exchange. I'm not going to answer for them, but just to have that knowledge, that information. All right. I hope that makes sense on 1031s and how that pertains to us as notary signing agents, what we might be coming across while we do a seller packet or even a purchase, because if they're purchasing through the 1031, you might get that replacement form then as well. So just wanted to bring that up so everyone kind of knows. And if, again, if someone's asking about 1031 exchanges, that's a little bit of information. Again, I'm not a tax professional and neither are you. We have to stay in our lane. We're not giving them tax advice. We're just saying, hey, you know what, this is basically what 1031 is. If you're interested, talk to a tax professional. All right. That's all I have on this episode. I know it's kind of a shorter episode, but this came across this week. I just wanted to share that. And I just want to say real quick, I hope you are all doing very, very well. Interest rates are going down. We are seeing some refinances coming up. So this might be another time where we see a lot of lower interest rates and people might want to take advantage. So, stay on top of your game as a peak signing agent. Keep watching YouTube videos and listening to podcasts of successful signing agents that have done great things. So you're getting the right information. Not someone who's just getting started or think all of a sudden they're a coach all of a sudden. Just be wary who you're watching or listening to. But get the information you can. Understand what's happening in the marketplace. People might be refinancing. Stay on top of your game so that you are a peak signing agent. So you get all the business. You stay busy so you can provide for you and your family. And again, just keep remaining being awesome. A quick update on me. If you've been following me, I've posted on social media. If you didn't know, you can follow me on social media at Peak Signing and on YouTube at Peak Signing. You can find me there and follow. If you get value from this, please follow me on social media and on YouTube and podcast platforms, Peak Signing Agents, and subscribe there. But I haven't been really active on social media as much as I would like because of what I'm going through, with my battle with cancer and just focusing on my health and staying busy with business. And this business has kept me busy and has been a godsend because I was able to just kind of focus more on business, not worry about too much about my health. Obviously, I worry about my health, but I'm not too worried about it, and I don't let it overwhelm me. I just say, hey, I'm going to stay busy during the week and just stay busy focusing on acquiring new clients and doing closings, and this business has really helped me do that. And I just finished my final scheduled treatment. I'm pretty excited about it. I posted it on social media. I'll try to be more active on social media, but I do respond to everyone that comments on YouTube. So do comment if you get value, or if there's anything I might say incorrectly. Please feel free to correct me. I am more than willing to open up to my wrong statements that I might say. But anyway, I had to do over 20 treatments of radiation. I think it was 22 treatments of radiation and 8 treatments of chemotherapy. And I've finished it, and I have scans coming up in the next couple weeks. And I'm hoping it's looking better, and I can try to, continue this naturally, trying to get rid of the tumor that I have. And my goal is to be cancer-free, obviously, and change my lifestyle to be a healthy lifestyle. That's why I talk about on this episode of, being healthy and taking care of yourself, getting rest, eating well. We get busy when we're on the road, especially if we get busy coming up with the interest rates going down, and we might see a potential refinance season coming up. Be on top of your health. Bring your water bottles, pack your lunch, bring healthy snacks. If you have to stop and eat somewhere, go try to get healthy food and not worry about the quick fast food. That's what I was doing, and that might have caused a lot of my health issues is the easy access to fast food when I'm on the go. We get on the go. So just want to bring that up too, all right? So keep being healthy, keep being awesome, keep being amazing. Remember, I'm cheering for you. I'm rooting for you. I'm on your side. I'm bringing you valuable information to help you. Take care of yourself. I'll catch you on the next episode. Bye now.